Hi everybody. We're gonna make some waffles and compote, and we have to do it in a hurry because I've got somewhere to go. Hello. Hold on. Hi everyone. Hi. Welcome. So we're going to make the pumpkin waffles with the blueberry compote from Made Whole. And we have to do it kind of quickly because I have to be somewhere at 3 and it's 2:15. Living on the edge. So if you have the book and you want to cook along, it's page 330. This is what we're making. Yeah. So I'm going to start by heating up. I'm going to have to move the phone a little bit so you won't actually see my face too much because this angle is super weird, but you can see my workspace, which is what matters. So thank you so much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right here with this skillet. If you guys can see it, little sauce pot. I'm going to start the compote, so that starts cooking. I'm not gonna preheat the oven because in the instructions of the book, it says to preheat the oven, and the reason for that is so as you cook the waffles, you can pop them in the oven so they stay warm until serving time. But we're not going to eat these right now. We're going to actually eat these for dinner later. I'm just going to leave them ready because I have to go to an event. Noelle and Stephanie, Coconut and Kettlebells and Paleo for Women, they have their book launch today, Coconut and Kettlebells cookbook and fitness book, so I'm going to that. So I'm going to get this done before I leave, and we're going to have breakfast for dinner tonight. So I'm going to make the compote. What I'm going to do is, let me back to my skillet. I'm going to mix in half a cup of frozen blueberries. And you can use fresh blueberries, but I think that the frozen ones work way better for this for some reason. I don't have mine. So you hear them sizzling. The cool thing, so when you put the frozen blueberries in the sauce pot, they start thawing and they get like really saucy and sweet. And we're also going to add in 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You can use unsalted butter as well, but I'm making this one dairy free, which if you don't know, all the recipes in my book have the option to be dairy free. I mean, they all are dairy free. I guess if a recipe calls for butter or ghee, it's always optional. I just know that a lot of people who don't eat dairy still eat butter and ghee, and it's a really nutrient dense and easy to source fat. So, but I can't do it, and I have jack off dairy right now. So 2 tablespoons of coconut butter in the little sauce pot with the blueberries. And what else are we gonna add? And then we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of erythritol, and I'm using the Anthony's Good kind. So we're just gonna cook this over medium heat until the blueberries thaw and everything starts getting saucy. Here, let me see if I can show you guys. Just gonna mix it all up. And what I love about this is you just kind of let it simmer until the blueberries, first they're gonna thaw out and release their liquid, and then they're gonna start degrading, almost like if you were making jam. I do this with Jack. Jack loves blueberries. And this is a really good trick if you want to have something sweet to put on your pancakes or your waffles. But I get it, like if you're not doing maple syrup, oftentimes the liquid low carb sweeteners have like weird, like the maple syrup flavored stuff can be kind of like weird. So this is a really good real food alternative for your breakfast food toppings. Okay, so I'm gonna let those hang out there. They're simmering. It's a pretty active simmer. I'm gonna go in occasionally with a whisk and do a little mashing action, right? But for now, those are gonna just hang out there, and we're gonna make the waffles. And we're gonna mix everything for the waffles in the bowl right here. So, 5 large eggs. Let me see if I move this. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's a really good idea too. I think I came up with it because one time I bought like a keto maple syrup thing, and I thought it tasted like disgusting. And then I was like, well, what am I supposed to put on my pumpkin, on my waffles or whatever, now that I'm not doing maple syrup or honey? Not that those foods are bad. If you can have those sweeteners, that's fine. They don't work for my body. I explain that in my book. Okay, so 5 eggs in the bowl. That goes first. And then I don't have MCT oil. And someone asked me if you need to use the collagen peptides. And you don't. I like adding them because it adds like protein to the dish. But they're optional, I guess. I mean, I think that that it works. But hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah! Man, this egg just like fell apart. There you go. Okay. You don't want eggshells in your thing. Keto and menopause. I don't know. I know that someone asked me about that as well, and I don't have that information, but I would say check on like Maria Emmerich, like Fat Adapted, or on healthfulpursuit.com. They might have more information on that. Or even like on Diet Doctor, one of those bigger websites. I know that there are women of menopausal age that do keto, and I'm pretty sure there are experts and bloggers that have written about this. I just don't personally know. I saw that, and I haven't had a chance to read the study itself, but I already know that a lot of times I want to know who funded the study. Someone said about the new published study saying that keto increases the risk of diabetes. Considering people are reversing their diabetes with keto, I find that who funded that study? Was it a pharmaceutical company? Just saying. Okay. So look at this. Let me just move the phone so you guys can see. Can you guys see the sauce? Look how good that's looking. It's already looking like syrupy and delicious. So that's still cooking down. Now let's keep mixing the pumpkin waffles. I'm not going to be able to answer a ton of questions, guys. Sorry, just because I have to get through this recipe because I have to go. See, there you go, Gigi, right? So those studies that, I don't know, I feel like anytime food heals an illness or heals chronic illness, studies start coming out debunking it. But I'm like super conspiracy theorist, and I feel like in this country, big pharma is trying to kill us. So anyway, moving on. Pumpkin waffles. Okay, 5 large eggs in the bowl. Just making waffles here, and you guys are getting like super intense on me. Okay. So I'm going to mix together 5 large eggs, 3 tablespoons melted oil. So let's do that. I have to melt my oil. Jenny, even if it's a science published article, like even think about like the articles that they cite about heart disease, like yeah, they were medical studies, but the money has to come from somewhere. I'm not saying that like, you know, it's a poorly cited article. Respectable people often, it's just the way the world works. I'll read it. I'm not saying it's completely wrong. I just think that it's like really coincidental that there's tons of anecdotal information out in the world of like people reversing diabetes and healing their bodies, and then all of a sudden this article comes out. Keto is not a new idea either. It's been around for like 100 years, and they've been using it in medical practices for 100 years to treat epilepsy, diabetes, cancer, all sorts of neurological disorders. Now that it's becoming mainstream, I feel like the same thing that there was like that whole campaign against coconut oil, right? Remember when coconut oil is gonna give you heart disease? Yeah, no, it's not coconut oil. It's gonna make you sick. It's sugar and it's processed foods. So 3 tablespoons coconut oil, and you have to melt it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in my measuring cup, and I'm just gonna pop it over on top of my flame here really quick to melt it. So I'm measuring 3 tablespoons coconut oil. I'm gonna mix it with my eggs and the I agree, it does get political and it does get annoying, and it's frustrating not knowing what to believe, but let's just make some waffles, people. Some melting coconut oil. It's scary to go against conventional wisdom. Yes, you can make pancakes with this batter. It says it in the book, and several people have made pancakes with it. I think it's really funny that I make pancakes all the time. I actually don't make waffles often, but for some reason in the book, I decided to make waffles. Maybe because I just bought my waffle iron. And I don't have pancake recipes in the book, which is absurd. But yes, this batter works really well for pancakes. So no waffle iron needed, and it does state that in the head notes. Okay, so while my coconut oil melts, I'm going to add in 2 heaping tablespoons of pumpkin puree and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Teaspoon. A pinch of fine Himalayan salt. 1/4 cup coconut flour. Okay, let me switch. We need an emoji for waffles, I agree. Okay, coconut oil is melted. I just put it on my burner really quick. Look at this, it's like super syrupy and delicious. Can you guys see that? I don't know, you're probably not. I have to get the phone off the stand. Okay, so I'm mixing eggs, vanilla, coconut oil, pumpkin, and I'm just gonna mix until combined, and then I'm gonna add in the coconut flour, a 1/4 cup, which I gotta find my 1/4 cup measuring cup because it's not up here. Where are you, measuring cup? See? It's so hard to show you guys the angle, see, without spilling my bowl. All right. Okay. 1/4 cup. No. Maybe it's in the washer. Hold on. There we go. Here it is. My dishwasher's full because we had dinner, I guess, last night, and it's still full. All right, so 1/4 cup. When you guys measure coconut flour, just so you know, you should always do a scoop, and in general, when you're measuring any flours, the most accurate way is to scoop, and then you gotta like run a knife, especially with coconut flour that is so dense. Like even a little bit extra is gonna like throw off the consistency of what you're making. Yeah. So putting in the coconut flour, and I'm skipping the collagen, as I said, because I don't have it. I really like the collagen in this recipe because I think that it adds protein to the recipe, but I don't have it. I don't have any stevia, and to sweeten the waffles a little bit extra, if you want, you can do stevia. I think the pumpkin sweetens it enough, and then you have the blueberry sauce on top. And let me show you how thick this blueberry sauce is getting with a spoon. Look how good that looks. Yum. So that's gonna go on top of the waffles. Okay, so let's clean up a little bit here. Pumpkin to the side. Here's my measuring cups. Put these away. I'm like a hot mess. Doing these like live, I need like an overhead camera or something that comes here, but this situation is like, it's tight. Okay, so I've got my batter, and as you see, it's nice and it's thick. You don't want it too runny. The interesting thing about baking or making stuff with pumpkin, or with coconut flour, I would say, is that if it's too stiff, like coconut flour thickens after you add it. Like when I first added the coconut flour to this, it was really liquid. But even just like the 1 or 2 minutes afterwards, it's already thickened up because coconut flour keeps absorbing after you add it. So I always start with less than I think I need. Let it sit and see how much it absorbs. Pretty much when you work with coconut flour, you don't want a super runny batter either, because then it might not hold unless you add a ton of eggs. So yeah, like less is more, in other words. And you'll notice in all of my recipes that use coconut flour, the reason the texture still works is because I use very little. It's 3 times as absorbent as other flours. Okay, so this is hot already. Is it hot? This isn't hot. The light's on. Oh, it's on minimum. Oops. I had it preheating, but I had it on the lowest setting. Fail. Damn it, Christina. Okay. We will let this heat up now. I thought I was like all on it with my thing all warmed up. Okay. Hold on. Let me put my blueberries away before they thaw. So for those of you just tuning in, we are cooking the pumpkin waffles from Made Whole, my cookbook. They're delicious. They're seed-free. And I guess if you don't use coconut butter, they're also coconut-free. If you don't use coconut oil, they're coconut-free. If you can use ghee or I guess avocado oil too. Yeah. And they're really easy. They're nut-free, dairy-free. They're delicious. Okay. So that's heating up because I forgot to heat it up before, or I guess I had it on the lowest setting. Blueberry sauce is ready to go. This stuff is so good. And you can just make this, and this is actually delicious on like waffles, on pork. Have you ever had blueberries with pork? It's really good. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off because that's already done. Ooh, someone's making avocado brownies. That's exciting. Yeah, I cover these kind of like variations with the flours and explaining why in my book. According to the date on my coconut flour is expired. Man, I don't know, honestly. I never had coconut flour expire on me. I guess it depends on how. Is it like a few days or is it like a few months? You know? No, you don't need baking powder for this. For these. No baking powder. Or baking soda, for that matter. All right, this is hot. So, let me get my. I like to use a 1/4 cup scoop. Sorry, I'm like cleaning this cup out so I can use it as a measure. Oh, like a year? Yeah, girlfriend. Throw that out. Okay. Because even if it's not like they don't make you sick, it might just not work. Like flours have to be dry. Like if they have too much moisture in them, it's going to be all weird. There you go. Look at everyone chiming in. Way to go. The pan with the blueberries is just frozen blueberries, coconut oil, a little bit of sweetener, and that's it. Okay. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna do 1/4 cup scoops. This waffle iron is super ghetto. So I have to like hold it down because if not, as the waffle like rises, it like opens it. I got it for like $13 on Amazon. Oh, how funny. Yeah, you gotta clean as you go when you cook. When you're a home chef and you cook as much as I do, If you don't clean as you go, forget it. It's like the mess isn't worth it. So we're gonna do 3 to 4 minutes per waffle, and then take them out. And yeah, and then set them out. So later when I go to eat these, serve these for dinner, I think I'm gonna serve them with crispy chicken, like a chicken and waffles kind of situation. And I'll just pop them in the oven at 400 to like toast them up a bit, and then put the sauce on top. Yeah, I hear you about the coconut flour. I don't know, it's different for everyone. So yummy. I love blueberries, and I love cooked down berries. They're so delicious. Yeah. All right. And you could always add more sweetener too. Like if you wanted the compote, I only do 1 teaspoon because I feel like the sweetness of the berries and the sweetness of the pumpkin are enough in this recipe. You don't need to like overload your palate with extra sweetener. It's really about enjoying the natural sweetness of the food in this recipe. But if you want a more indulgent flavor, you can tweak to your liking. I know some people have done that and they've liked it a lot. Okay. Oh, look at that. We have waffles. Let me get a plate. Hold on. Move it, Bruce. Okay. So my super professional way of getting waffles out of waffle irons, I use a knife. And I lift a corner. Look how pretty. Okay. So put that on a plate. Next one. Hold it down. So the colors on this dish are really pretty because you have these beautiful golden waffles, and then you top them. Here, we'll do just a tiny piece to show you guys because I want to taste them, but don't tell Justin. So how I like to do, I cut them in little, like the 4, so you have the little wedge. Hi. And then, ooh. Look at that with the blueberries on top. Look how gorgeous those colors are. It's so good. It's like perfectly sweet because the blueberries don't need anything else. They're just, oh my god, it's like nature's candy. So I'm gonna do a little folding action here so I don't, you know, burn myself. Yeah, really good. So anyway, really good, really easy waffle recipe. Hot. The blueberry sauce is where it's at. So good. So these waffles are great. And like I said, you can make them, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. You can make them pancakes as well. And the recipe's in my cookbook, the collagen peptides, like I said. Thank you so much. The collagen peptides are optional. I highly suggest them because it adds some protein, makes it more of a complete meal. But I get it if you don't have it. These waffles are just so pretty. You got your sauce. I'm gonna make these. I'm gonna serve these later for dinner with some chicken. Not fried chicken. I would do fried chicken, but after cooking up so much last night, I'm gonna keep it simple tonight. I'll probably just like throw a few chicken thighs in the oven. We got another one. Look how pretty these are. So again, to take my waffles out of my waffle iron, I just kind of get a little knife and lift it up. Look at that, beautiful. And then put it on a plate. I mean, the color on these, you guys, can't beat that. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go because I have to run. I'm gonna finish this last one, maybe 2 more in here. Maybe we'll just make one big one, see what happens. I'll have to really hold this one down. Yeah, so pumpkin waffles with blueberry compote from Made Whole. You can also make them into pancakes. The batter works just as well as pancakes. And it's a super allergen friendly, nut-free, dairy-free, easy to make coconut-free recipe. And I'm really excited for all of you guys to have the book. And remember, if you have the book and you're cooking from it, oh, you're making the corn chowder so good. Please tag me, hashtag Made Whole or Made Whole Cookbook, or just tag me at the Castaway Kitchen because I love to take screenshots of the pictures. I think blueberries would work as well. I don't think don't use raspberry because they're too seedy. And dice up your strawberries if you want to use them for the compote. And then, what else was I going to say? Oh, and if you have the book and you have not left an Amazon review, please remember to do so. Those really help other people decide that they want to buy the book. Just an honest review is all I ask for. And again, thank you guys so much for cooking with me. I'm going to download this and save it on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page as well. Oh, Island Time Studios, you are crushing it with the curry chicken recipe. Yes. So if you have the book, in the variations, it has a pumpkin-free suggestion. No, it's not. Look how big. This one's giant because I put too much in it. I'm holding it down because if not, it opens. So yeah, for those of you that have the book, page 330 of Made Whole Cookbook. And yeah, I hope you guys have a really good Sunday, guys. Tomorrow's Monday. We're going to crush the week. Have a good one. Bye.